principal, I have to put this cape on you,
And I have to mask you.
and you have to wear it proudly for at least till midnight tonight. So
Oh my gosh, what did I do?
You get a mask. You get to put the mask on to be here.
being great.
What inspired me to teach? Boy, I'm not really sure about that one. I'd kind of bumbled through a lot of different jobs. And then I finally said, well, you know, I've always liked science. I should try being a science teacher. And it just took.
I fell into teaching kind of by accident. It was not my plan. I was actually a media comm major, and I had an editing business for years. I started substituting just to be a positive presence in my kids' schools, and then ended up with some long-term subs and realized I really loved it.
I love teaching, and you know, later in life I'm going to be retiring, and it's like that's going to make me really sad because I have the joy for teaching.
The connections that I make with my students as human beings gives me a lot because they're such incredible people, and when you get to see who they are besides just the work that they turn in, when you get to see their personalities or they share things they're excited about.
I always look at teaching as being kind of a dance, and if they're not willing to dance with me, it's hard for me to dance with them. But if we're all willing to dance, then that's how I get my energy.
I love kids, and I love to see them start in September, and I get them all the way to June. And it's really hard in September, but it's like they can do it, and they're 3 and 4 years old, and they know how to walk, they can learn how to walk in line. And I love the beginning to the end.
There's this line in Chesterton, it's from The Man Who Was Thursday, and I just love it because I feel like it sometimes sums up life. And he says, always be comic in a tragedy, what else can you do? And sometimes life is hard, and some seasons are really, really dark. And so sometimes you just have to laugh into the darkness and know that that's not going to last. The darkness doesn't stay forever. Those hard seasons aren't there for forever. And that's one of the things I've been able to share with my students.
They're young and their brains are just like sponges now. And now's the time to just pick up as much as you can. And because when you get to the point where I am in life, you push one more fact in and something falls out the other side. But right now they just can learn so much. So I try to encourage that.
So last year during the SOLs, I showed up with hot pink hair. It was a darker pink than I intended. I was kind of going for more like rose gold, but it was fun. I wanted them 2 things. I wanted to make them smile on a day that can often be kind of stressful. I just wanted to give them something to laugh about first thing. And I got everything from Miss McKnight, I love your hair, to Miss McKnight, your hair. And also just so that, whenever I was doing my rounds, monitoring the test, if they needed encouragement, obviously I couldn't say anything to them, but they would just know I was there and supporting them and loving them.
Is everybody happy? Yes, ma'am. Happy. Happy. Put those hands up. Put those hands up and clap them really loud. Yay!
Oh my gosh, life makes me happy. Sweet tea, the color of sweet tea, that sounds so funny, but the color of sweet tea actually makes me joyful. And I have the greatest family. I have 6 grandkids, and I love them all. That makes me so happy.
I'm a big birder. I love to bird. And my wife makes fun of me because I'll be talking to her or somebody else, and if a bird flies by or I hear a sound, I'm suddenly like that dog chasing a squirrel. I'm like, what was that?
I ride horses. I've ridden horses since I was 7, and my parents didn't want to pay for lessons, so I earned my lessons by scrubbing buckets in the barn.
One of my big things is fermentation. Regardless what the fermentation, making beer, mead, or making fermented pickles and stuff like that. The things that you can do, the things that nature can do, that allows us. It's just neat to watch a bunch of yeast go to work, or to watch lactobacillus bacteria turn a cucumber into a dill pickle. I don't know. I watch these bubbles come out of my my fermenter, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool.